All right.
Let's go. What the heck is going on, man?
What's up, dude? Another Thursday.
It's another Thursday, man. And
Weeks
I've
just
been,
fly.
dude, I'm stoked for it this week. Just like the backstage
Yeah.
conversations that
Yeah,
were
we had a good
happening.
one.
It's like, holy smokes, this is going to be amazing. So
It's
I was
tough.
really excited when you told me yesterday that we had these people coming on.
Yeah.
And I needed that. This week has been like one of those crazy weeks. Like if it could go
Really?
wrong, it did.
Really?
And
I've heard that from a
everything. I
few
mean,
people this week.
a vehicle totaled. I mean,
Oh,
like two lawsuits threatened on like tiny $1,500 gutter jobs. It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Yeah. Just
why?
messing
It's
with
just like,
your juju, right? Like
yeah, right. It's just
bad
like,
vibes. It's all
just
right.
stupid stuff.
Good
But
times coming.
that's right. That's right.
Everybody's stressed this time of year, school's back, that sort of thing. Summer's kind of winding down. It's getting a little cooler at night. I have a friend that was like, man, I'm feeling depressed right now. He was on a group thread, and we're like, what? And we're like rough on each other. So we're like, you're depressed. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
right.
say what I told him he needs to go do with himself. But this time of year, everything kind of changes, and it could be a little tough emotionally.
Yeah.
So,
We had
give
our first
that.
cold snap. It's been in the 40s at night. And so it's like it's
Ooh,
starting to get
40s.
chilly. And
Oh, we haven't hit
so
that yet.
maybe that's it. Maybe people are like, dang it,
Yeah, no,
school's back and it's getting cold. And I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just been one of them weeks. So I'm stoked to be here. I'm even more excited now that we've been talking backstage for the last like 15 minutes.
this is
So
going to be a good one.
it's going to be fire.
Yeah,
So,
so let's tease the audience with who we have on tonight. We have the Reynolds family. We have Samantha and Cole Reynolds. If you're on these Facebook groups, you definitely know these two.
that's
They're
right.
vocal. They're deeply rooted spiritually, psychologically. They're very outspoken about it, and you kind of can't miss their juju. I'm using juju again. You can't miss their energy. They're very unique individuals, and their outspokenness, their ability to kind of convey that can't be missed. And if you are that type of person, you gravitate to them immediately. So we've been communicating for years, kind of like friendship, light business tip. Hey, what are you doing? How can you help us? Um, just kind of in these circles for the last few years. Awesome people, and man, while you're doing that, you kind of watch these people evolve, and these two have, just like any of us, they have their skeletons. They've been through hurdles. They've been through adversity, and nothing gets in their way, and they just keep smashing. What I've watched them do is sort of put together a very well oiled content strategy. I don't know if
Right.
they know that I know this, but I see and I see and watch everything that everybody's doing. So I know that they're doing this. I see it. I acknowledge it. I tip my hat to it. And we're all busy people, but these guys are overdue to get on the show because we're going to sort of unravel this, talk about it, find out what they're doing. I think, to me, the way I perceive it, and I'm rambling, and I'll let you talk for a minute too, Colin. But the way I perceive this is they're finding their way. They're making this work. Their gutter business is evolving. I'm a big proponent of drainage. I do a ton of it. They're doing drainage. They're doing it successfully. And I'm watching them sort of come into their own. Their branding is spot on. They're doing a ton of content. They're cutting commercials. They're bringing it all together. So I think the timing is perfect, to be honest, for them to come on here and we could kind of chop it up and talk about it and see how they're doing it, see what they want to share, maybe touch on some hurdles and life challenges, because we all have them. And I think that there's catharsis for them in talking about some of this stuff. So we have a
Right.
lot to unravel here. What
Yeah.
say you about these two, Colin?
The one of my favorite things of watching them from a distance, Cole and I's first conversation dates back to 2020, like pre GutterCon 2020. If
Right.
I remember right, he bought like because that was COVID times and it got delayed and whatnot, and he had bought like a whole Airbnb for his entire team in Colorado, and was like, "Shoot, man, I'm married to this. I can't change it now." And so I didn't get to meet him at GutterCon, but because he ended up going when it was originally planned, not 3 months after or whatever.
Right.
Um, but So I've just been watching from a distance, and the way that he conducts himself as a leader has been really, really fun to watching his team kind of rally. I'm pretty sure he gave away a car or something like that a couple years ago. Maybe, I don't know, something he gave away
Really?
something
We'll
big.
have to
I
ask.
feel like maybe I'm mixing him up with something else. I don't know, but just the way that he leads his team has been really, really fun to watch from a distance, and
They're both
it's really good.
superstars. I mean, they're
So
very well spoken, and they deserve everything coming their way. So let's get them out here. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and get them out here. What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for having us on.
And welcome
yeah,
to the show.
Man, it's kind of surreal. When I first started the gutter company in 2020, we had just started it right after COVID. But one of the first things I did was go straight to Facebook and look up gutter groups.
Right.
Immediately joined the gutter installer group and immediately found Frank, Colin, and a handful of others that I was looking for inspiration. I had a brand new gutter business, and I was like, "What can this be? What have other people taken it to? And what can I model my business after?" And so, y'all were two of the people that I definitely looked up to in the early days, and modeling the business and wanting to build it,
Thank you.
kind of into what it's become today. So,
Right on. Right on. We're happy to be here.
moment that I get to come back on to the podcast.
5 years later, right? About time.
I remember. I don't know if it was your first or second or third year when you did it, but you were counting your jobs with sticky notes,
Yeah.
right? With sticky notes, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, run what you brung, like how cool was that? And
Isn't it crazy how fast time flies? I'm sure for Cole that feels like yesterday.
When I first started it, for anybody who's built a business, the first year is not easy. And the first couple months will make or break you. I mean, you feel like you're going to go out of business every other
Oh
day.
yeah.
And so I had somebody tell me, you get through these hard times, you find a way to keep your doors open. In 5 years, you will heavily financially thank yourself for all the sacrifices you've made. And so, being 5 years into the business, I can confidently say that that person was right. And, all the 12, 14-hour days and all the handling the callbacks and all the bullshit of dealing with a business is extremely worth it in the long run. The reward is just outweighs all the bad.
Yeah, and in your case, I mean, with the two of you, you have each other, and that's one of the things that really has me gravitating to you two as people because I run my companies with my wife myself, and although you don't see her in content at all, she doesn't like the camera.
Mhm.
Me, I'm a ham, right? But she it's not really her thing. But she's lockstep in the business with me, so I know what you're going through. I live it over here, so I could totally relate. And it's awesome to kind of watch you guys do it because I could commiserate and I know exactly the stuff you're going through, or I might be in the middle of it myself at the same time. So that's a whole nother element. Colin's wife is definitely a big supporter of him, and she has roles in his operation, so I know he could relate.
very limited though. She's
Yeah.
she's. I mean, early days, yes, she was a lot of the back end, but we realized really quick that working together wasn't something we really loved doing. We love living together. We
Delicate
love,
balance, right?
but yeah, we've learned to balance that pretty well. Like she does, I've discovered she really likes the fun stuff. So like planning what we're doing at an event or the parade float and
Right
things
on.
like that, or our new company swag. Right? She'll design it all. Like she loves that. But other than that, she gets to stay home, build our homestead, homeschool our kids. Like that's her jam. That's what she loves.
So
So
awesome.
Well, let's turn it to the Reynolds. What made you guys decide? Okay, you know what? We're in this relationship, but let's dial it up 10 notches and try to run a business together and really stress ourselves out or test the boundaries of this relationship.
right, and because at the beginning you weren't married, were you?
No, we were just together. We got married about a year and a half into the business.
Right.
So the first year, she was going through a grieving time, And so the first year was a lot on my shoulders, getting it built up to a certain point to where I could hire my first manager. And from there, I really wanted to take the company into like a really big thing. And so I ended up with 7, 8 people on payroll within a couple months, and forced myself into a position where we had to make a major amount of sales in order to keep the door open week by week. And so
The classic mistake, right?
trying to grow too fast and just not quite understanding the cash flow side of things. So fast forward a couple years later, after our managers are no longer part of the team and we decided to step back in, she wanted to take a huge initiative into the office side of things, into the marketing side of things. She had already been running our social media since we had first created. She had created our content and our logos and all our colors and all of the branding. So when that happened and we wanted to pivot to being more owner operator instead of it being more turnkey, we were like, let's jump back into the driver's seat. She took initiative on learning everything. So that was a year ago. So we've now had a full year of completely working together. She can do everything that I can do in the office and in the sales side of things too. So she's running more appointments than I am because I've in the field with the drains here.
And I would arguably say I close more deals than he does.
Yeah. And
that's expected, Sam. That's expected. Just so you know.
That's probably the biggest thing that I would say argue, but like the banter internally in my operation with my wife and I, because we're both highly competitive, is who's getting it done, who's grinding, who's closing the deals. And we kind of like chirp back and forth at each other in front of staff, and it's hilarious. And then we simmer down and it's okay.
That's the beautiful thing about us is since we can both interchange in the weeks that I'm down and not quite feeling it, as all business owners have, she steps in beautifully and takes the charge. And so we can alternate like that. That way, the business never goes down. The business never has to peak. Always someone is on top.
We take turns being manic.
You know what, though? It's a healthy mentality to look at it that way, because let's face it, high tide rises all ships. You're going to have these ebbs and flows together, but to have that mentality, even if you're just tricking yourself with it, you kind of like, you know what, jump on my shoulders. I got this. And now it's, the other person's turn to champion it, and it gets you through the tough times. It really is a smart way to look at it.
I'm really curious. Like, I want to dig into that a little bit more because I've never had that. Like, I have my team, right? And there are days when I'm just like, I can lean on them a little bit harder, right? But what is that like? Is it you wake up in the morning, you're just like, damn, like I just don't have it today, babe. I need you to step up. Like, what does that look like? How does that conversation happen? Does it happen, or do you just see it?
There have been mornings where I will literally hand her the phone and say, I can't answer phone calls. I'm not in the right headspace to answer phone calls. Yeah. After about 10 phone calls in a day while I'm in the field, it's hard for me to just keep focused. Yep. And so
I know that feeling.
Yeah, sometimes it is as simple as handing it off. And then sometimes she'll recognize that I need a moment to cool off, or that I'm overwhelmed, and she'll step in.
Right.
No, I'm right there with you. But I mean, that goes the same for anything in our lives, like even just being parents together and doing life together. I mean, if I'm checked out of motherhood because I had a long day of mentally pouring into people for sales, he'll be like, hey, I'll help you with the baths and the dinner and the this and the that, and we'll get the kids to get, like, we try to just tackle everything 50-50. Right. Or just whatever we got.
Yeah, being entrepreneurs with 4 kids, it's like you run a business during the day and then you run a second operation.
There is zero rest.
Yeah.
Zero rest.
Zero.
Yeah, like we literally got a babysitter to keep our kids overnight tonight just so we could do this.
Yeah.
So.
Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
going out of town this weekend.
I know what's going to happen after this, because I see the candles lit in the back and like a boom boom music coming on later.
Rogue, we won't say anything.
Yeah. We taught you.
We live busy lives, and we have to work together. You have to cooperate, and you have to pick up where one's feeling down. Nobody's 100% all the time, especially when we're as busy as we are every single day. I mean, there's no breaks on the weekends or anything like that. So it's a 24/7. I think we're good at it. We've gotten accustomed to it.
You guys are great at it in life. I mean, you and you hang it out there. I mean, we all know so much about you guys because, man, you guys are like yin and yang. I mean, one balances the other. Cole, I know your background. Samantha, I know yours. I know the bumps in the road. Again, and everybody's human. We all have them, but you guys balance each other out. You've pulled each other out of the coals, and it's amazing. It's a testament to love. It's unbelievable. And then you said, okay, let's double down and let's do business. So much respect from me and mine here. We commend it. We know what it takes, but who better to do it with, right? Honestly, I had a business partner when I started, and I wound up buying him out after 9 years because I was pulling all the weight. It was like, come on, man. When you're in there with your wife, your significant other, it's like it's all we have. Like there is no other choice. This is getting done, and good days, bad days, or whatever comes at us, we're gonna tackle it together.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's difficult to work with your spouse. I've heard
people do say that. You're right.
I've heard business mentors say don't work with your spouse.
Do it. Right.
To that, I'll say we can be the exception to the rule.
You know what? And this is about you guys, but I always love to kind of like shed my own personal experiences on it and parallel and see where we kind of find each other in the middle. For me, with the crazy things I'm doing or trying to do in business, if my significant other is, let's say, a kept woman, right? I don't want you to think about my business. I don't want you to know about it. Just go do you. Whatever you need to do, honey. Here's a credit card. I'm going to go do this crazy stuff at work. When I come home, and I pull crazy long hours, and I'm still doing it for all the right reasons. This is about to change soon, but to me, it's insanity to think I'm going to go off and become this crazy guy and try to achieve all of these things, and then that person that's with me knows that little about me because we're two ships in the night. And now how do we meet? How do we meet in the middle? How do we reconnect when I am present? You don't even know about me. You don't even know what I'm trying to achieve, what I'm focusing on day to day, what my challenges are. Because in the midst of the day, I'm not calling my wife per se. I mean, we talk a few times during the day, but we're in the trenches. I run from appointment to appointment to appointment, and my phone's ringing in between those appointments. I am slammed until late at night. And we barely get time, words in edgewise before bed. But we were in the battle together all day. So that's our common ground. If I did it the other way, I just would not know my wife. I feel like I just would not. It would just be very on the surface. So I don't know about that.
I think that happens to a lot of people and a lot of young men in marriages who get into a profession and become very ambitious and very driven on personal growth, and often can be at work growing personally and leaving the other spouse behind. It can happen both ways. And so you grow professionally, you grow personally, and then
think about the resentment that could be.
That's exactly right. Within 6 months you don't have much in common. So I love working together every day. I think it's one of the best things ever. Like, I have so much fun running the business and like just knowing that everything is handled here. And because of that, we have a unique business. We have 0 salespeople. We have 0 office management.
Amazing.
All sales, literally just us two, and most of it is organic from social media.
Do you guys want to shed a little light on that as far as like how you doing as a business?
That's a lot of work. That's a ton of work.
It's a lot of work on the phone.
All day.
I'll let her talk about some of the marketing and business groups that she's joined in the last year, because I, for one, was a bit against business groups, and she's tried to talk me into them, and I said no, that I wouldn't go. So she joined them to prove me wrong, and she has.
Amazing. Why am I not surprised?
Right?
You
So
doing BNI? What kind of groups are you
yeah,
doing?
I'm in a BNI group.
I started out in BNI.
Yeah, and so I told him, "Hey, I'm going to join this group," and he was like, "I don't know, like because
It's a lot of work.
if I've learned anything, being just in this seat for a little over a year now, it's that everybody wants your money in some way, form, or fashion. When it
Yeah.
comes to advertising, when it comes to getting your name out there, like everybody wants your money. You've got chamber calling you. You've got
Right.
area builders association calling you. You've got just all these people that are calling you and pulling at you and join me, fee, and like I had to learn very early on that like yes, you need to be in some of those things, but you don't need to be in all of those things. And there's like a smart way to spend your money in that. And so with BNI, I ended up ultimately choosing for us to do that. And we've only been in it since June, and it's paid for itself 8 times already.
Yes, it does.
Amazing.
And I joined it for $1,100. So
Right.
the math there. But it's just great. Like it's been a great group, and I've also been able. I'm a networker anyway. Like I like to talk to people, obviously. And so I had no problem there. And just like if you go into those kind of situations with what can I give, how many referrals can I give, it just naturally comes back to you. And that's what I've seen, at least in my own personal
Right.
experience.
That's what they say, right? Givers get. That's
Givers gain that's like their slogan or whatever for
That's
it.
right. That's one of my favorite marketing levers that I teach in gutter launches. Call every local business to you. I don't care if it's the flower shop, the veterinarian, the roofers, the siders, the electricians. Call all of them and just ask, what do you make the most amount of money doing so that I can refer only those to you?
Right.
And by the end of that conversation, they're like, what is it that you do again?
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I do gutters. And they're like, you know what? My mom needs gutters. Can you get us an estimate?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and then you have to actually like give them referrals when that time comes, right? But it turns into so many opportunities when you approach it with a give first, right? Like,
Let me give you
huge.
a perspective that a lot of people don't get or you can't see it and you're never told it. So BNI, I'm 22 years in business. BNI, I was highly active in between 2 different groups for like the first 8 years of me being in business. It was definitely a commitment. It's a lot of work. You gotta show up every week. You have to present. It's sometimes you really don't want to be there. Sometimes you're bored. It's the same pitches from the same people. Yada yada yada. However, think about this. And again, I didn't think of this because why would I ever think of this? But now in 22 years, when I first started in these groups, they're all green entrepreneurs generally, like yourself. Some of them are older, seasoned salespeople, but for most of it, it's people just like you trying to get a business off the ground. And now imagine 20 years later or more, and how many of those people actually do succeed.
Right.
And now they're also 20 years in business.
Right.
So, like, let's say the insurance guy who was like a fledgling insurance agent at the time, now he's got hundreds and hundreds of clients that he's amassed.
Mm-hmm.
What about the accountant who had this tiny little firm, him and a partner, and had no clients? Now, 20 years later, he's got thousands and thousands of clients. What I have now are these people that are out in the world
Right.
talking good on my name and talking good on my brand and my business, saying,
Right.
Frank is amazing. He's been doing this for 20 some odd years. He's grown into roofing. He's into drainage. To have that person who is seasoned himself and is a big dog in whatever industry he's in, know me personally and be able to speak on me and my business from, at this point, from a distance. I am 30 miles away from where I was doing these BNI groups, but I just have this brand presence because I have all of these amazing people that made it in business. Some have failed, but the ones that have made it, they still see me on LinkedIn. They see me on my Facebook. They know I'm still doing what I'm doing, and they speak highly of me, and I do the same of them. And it just kind of like, it's marketing at its best. You don't have to pay $1 for it. I put the time and the sweat equity in 20 years ago,
Right.
and it just keeps
Paying
paying
dividends.
dividends. Yeah, and it's really amazing stuff. You don't think about it until in hindsight you go, whoa, this is cool stuff. So I'm glad I put that time in. At the moment, it was boring, but it was time well spent. At this point, it really helped shape my name, whether it was my personal name or my business brands. So keep doing that. I think those are very valuable.
It does matter. And I mean, I'm only a decade into business, and it being in those groups, or even something as simple as like our 4th of July parade, it's a really big deal here, I guess. But we've been in the parade almost every single one of those years. I think we missed 1 or 2. But people know us, and we always have our little dirt bikes, and we're doing wheelies, and people just know us for being the fun company, right? And we always give away the coolest stuff. So it just works, right? It's be present in all those things as much as you possibly can.
100%.
Yep, definitely had my eyes open to that this year.
Right.
So you guys break into $1 million to where you at? I mean, give us some ideas on.
He did $1 million like his first year, man.
No, we did not. Last year was the first year we broke $1 million.
Fantastic.
Was it really? I could have sworn you did it like your second year.
No.
But
No, second year we did around 750-ish. And then we finally broke $1 million last year, and we're on pace for about the same this year.
Yeah.
Like
we didn't get a storm this year, though.
I'd love to sit here and be like, we're going to double up this year, but it's just it's not true.
Gutters are a little slow this year. Gutters
seem to be a little slow. The drains are compensating us pretty well, so that's keeping the revenue flowing.
I love hearing you guys talk about drains. Best add-on you did to the business thus far?
Well, it's so complementary to gutters.
100%.
That it just made sense. And I've watched you do drains for years, and I've thought about it a couple times. And
then I pushed for it finally.
And then she eventually pushed and talked me into it. And I committed to it. And, we're taking our gutter leads, turning them into drain leads.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the magic.
Gutter leads. And so the complementary back and forth has been really, really nice.
It's just crossover all day, right? One easily flips to the other business. You branded, do you have 2 LLCs or just a DBA?
No, we just have the one LLC, Greenway, and we're just doing East Texas for Insurance is just a DBA.
Yeah.
Got it. And does it have its own website? How are you marketing that?
We're running it as its own company. We're getting a Google listing up right now. Might as well capture leads with a second name.
That's what we're doing. It's really just an extra lead capture business.
For sure.
Right.
Yep. And the companies are branded as irrigation companies out here. Nobody's really branded as a French drain or a drainage company. So the name is really good. Once we get some Google and SEO on it, it's
Google's tricky in different territories. It depends on the state that the listings are in. But if you're trying to open up a Google business profile, like here in Connecticut, right? You if you want to tap drains, you have to have a plumbing license, which sucks. And so then I'm such a rockhead about this, and I get so passionate about it. I told I'm like, I'm going to go get a P6 or a P7 license, which is sewer, septic or drainage, storm drainage. I don't need it for what I do here. My home improvement license is fine, but if I want to get municipal work or something where they draw a line in the sand and say you have to have it as a requirement, I think it'll bring us a lot of work. I'm going to be 49 in 4 weeks. It would require me going to night school to get this P6 or P7. One is a little bit more difficult than the other. You could take these like adult ed classes, and I think I need like 6 or 7 courses. It'll cost me about $6,000 and maybe 4 months. And I'm like, I'll do it. I don't care. I just want to get it out of the way. And then we kind of lightened on it, and I'm rambling, but in Connecticut, you need it. In other states, you don't. You can tap the drainage leads or, get that designation. And in Texas, I think you can.
Texas, you can do whatever you want whenever you want.
Texas is Texas.
Right? Throw a sticker on the truck.
Yeah.
You don't need insurance. You don't need a license. You just rock and roll.
Unfortunately, now that we're established, I really wish there was licensing because it's so easy to start up that
good point.
Storm happens, 30 gutter companies will be popped up within a month. So
I also
licensing is a good thing, right? It weeds out the bad guys and it lets the good guys win. It really does. But but then it forces you to jump through all the nonsense hoops.
Yeah, but that's a good filter. I feel like if someone's willing to jump through the hoops, then they're going to, take better care of their business, and that's good for your customers.
Absolutely.
The amount of drains that we or the amount of houses that we go to where their drains are not working properly because they were installed on their home build originally, or just that they just weren't installed correctly. I'm just like
Frank,
blown
if I showed you some of
away.
these systems, you'd be sick.
Yeah.
So you guys camera inspect? Do you start with that? Is that?
I haven't done that yet. I'm
I
working.
got to get you doing it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to help you offline. I mean, it's a 1-2 punch. But you make money on the camera.
I want to dig into that. I want to dig into, like, we sell a lot of drain tile, all right, for comparatively to my competitors, but nothing like what Frank or you guys are doing. I mean, we probably do 1 or 2 drain tile jobs a week, but it's 50 to 100 feet. It's nothing too crazy.
Right? I mean, that adds up.
Still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we could sell a heck of a lot more if I put the right arrows in my quiver and shot them at
a
the
little
right
bit
time.
of knowledge. It's not crazy.
Right. So, I mean, can you guys all of you, both Frank, Cole, and Samantha, share some of your sales pitch and how you turn those gutter leads into full blown we could put a kick out with a hinge on it or
these
whatever.
Guys just touched on it. They just touched on it. They said if I came and saw the conditions and the horrific, that's the truth is, and it's the same thing here. I've been doing it for 7-8 years now. Nobody maintains. Okay, this is why it's such low hanging fruit and such an easy line item to tap and add to especially if you get a call, you're coming in on a gutter related issue. It's so easy to convert it into drainage because the question is simple. Have you ever maintained this system, this ground drain? Have you ever cambered it or jetted it? The answer is always no. They never, ever do anything maintenance related until they have a problem. And so at that point, I don't want to say it's too late, but it's enough of a problem where there's a payday for you because you need to camera it. You could then immediately proof that it's full of crap, whatever's in there. Then you could fire up the jetter, jet that line. If it's thin wall pipe, if it's even jettable, so corrugated black landscape pipe, my jetter would shred that.
Blow right a hole. Yeah.
Yep. And you'd see water coming out of the ground. Even thin wall pipe. I mean, we could put a good beating on with 4,000 psi. So then
you're talking like Schedule 30 PVC.
We use SDR 35, right, which is the green stuff.
Yep, that's what I push usually. But.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's crush resistant. It's no Schedule 40, but it's still, bang for the buck. Probably the best pipe you could use. The thin wall stuff is white on the outside, usually black lined on the inside.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So all we do is camera all day, right? So when you start to do the camera work, what you see is what used to be a round pipe is now completely oblong.
Oh, or hearts. That was really cool.
Do that, George? The system did that. Look at that. It's awesome.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
I swear I did not eat mushrooms before we started this show. I don't know what is going on here.
I was cracking up.
Yep.
That's incredible. Like I'm on a Disney movie.
That's right.
So that pipe just crushes. So the minute you start looking at these with cameras, you have all this photo evidence. It's so easy to sell a homeowner. You're like, this is ripped, this is cracked, this is separated, this is holding water. Here's the video footage.
Right.
And that becomes your sales tool. That's your best salesman is the camera.
Well,
Since I don't have a camera, my sales tactic is if I can go to a yard and I can clearly still see standing water, but I know we haven't had rain in more than a week, I'm like, why is that happening? And so, that's usually my end.
Right.
Solving that problem.
Well,
this would have been huge for me this week. At the start of the show, I said I had a lawsuit threatened over a $1,600 job, right? And I fired the sales rep semi over this. He also was just sucking and needed to be fired anyways. But we put a downspout into an existing drain tile, and that's like a big no for us unless we can actually see the end of it and have it tested, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Test the water flow. And these guys had no idea where it went, but they were hell bent on it, right? This is where it needs to go. It needs to go right back in here. And salesman sold it. Technicians did it. First rain comes, and it's
Right.
bubbling out of it was a 2-story downspout, so it's bubbling out of the seam there. It's
Oof.
bubbling out of the seam 8
Yeah,
feet up in
held
the
up.
air. Like,
Yeah.
it was just bubbling. Yeah.
You get it.
And customers calling, freaking out. We're like, this is why
Bad
we don't
seam.
do this, right? And they're like, if you don't come here and remove all this right now and give us all our money back, we're suing you. And I'm like,
It's your ground drain.
yeah,
Right
you know
there where you
what?
wanted the downspout.
Now I'm definitely not going to come back at all.
Right.
So
I don't negotiate with
right?
terrorists.
No, exactly. My exact words to my office manager is like, you tell him I don't negotiate with terrorists. And I was like, you say that line. And he was like, oh, okay. And yeah. So, I've made him say some pretty crazy stuff in the past, but that's besides the point. Sorry, my camera just like activated and now it's moving and chasing me, and I don't know how to shut it
Well,
off.
do a little dance.
Yeah, but a camera would have helped him sell that job, or he probably just wouldn't have done it.
Well, look, it's simple, right? During the sales call, early on, as you're walking around, if you realize that you're going to be tying into ground drains, you ask about the drains. Have you ever tested these drains? Well, what do you mean? Have you ever sent a camera down there? No, I don't have a camera. Did you ever hire somebody to do that? Were you ever curious where they go?
Right.
Do you know where they go? What condition they're in? Well, don't you think we should do that if we're putting a nice new rain gutter system and now we're going to 6-inch or we're going to 7-inch and we're able to collect that much water off the roof? And,
So what are these cameras like? I just did a ground drain camera.
They're all over the place on price.
Yeah, I see
I have
like
a few that are
Beaver.
like $12,000 a piece, but they break just as much as the cheap ones. You can get a Chinese camera for like $2,000 that are phenomenal, and the color quality and the image are better. They're as good as the $12,000 ones, and they're holding up well. These cameras are taking a beating, and so I have like 4 or 5 of them, different models. Some of them are Wi-Fi enabled, which are really cool. You don't need the monitor.
So like a $56 Vivor one is not going to be very good.
No.
Yeah.
Buying
Yeah.
those little scopes that connect to your iPhone and stuff. No, you need you need something that is relatively ruggedized. It's going to cost a couple grand. It's got a spring-loaded. This is the term you want to search for: self-leveling camera, self-leveling drain camera. That means it doesn't matter what the camera's doing inside the pipe. If you're, spinning the reel or fighting it, trying to get through turns, if the camera's flipping inside that camera head, the camera is always leveling itself. So you have perspective on what the hell you're looking at while you're in.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. I see some self-leveling ones now. Okay, sorry. I'm getting distracted. But we got to get back to Cole and Samantha. Now we're talking
Yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff. But
let's talk about pitfalls. Let's talk about life pitfalls and, as entrepreneurs, some of the hard stuff. And we see this, right? Because we're all in these groups together. A lot of people are dealing with life situations, significant others, drug addictions, depression. There's a lot of crap that we deal with as humans, and then couple that with entrepreneurship, and then you're in groups, and all of a sudden you're kind of sharing all this information with the general public. We're all doing this, right? What say you guys on how to navigate life while being entrepreneurs? And it doesn't have to necessarily speak to relationships. Got quiet for a second.
Because I don't know what the question is.
Yeah, it's like, how do you navigate life? I don't know.
This is what it is. With all of this crap that we deal with, how do we stay positive? How do we keep plugging? How do we wake up every day and tie our boots on and go chase this dream of business success? And I think that's what defines us. The guys that can just fight the fight and take the punches in the face every day, regardless of what's going on, or you're going through a little spat, or you're going through a situation, you still got to get to work. The phones need to be answered. The work needs to get installed. I know, and we go here all the time on the podcast. I know what it takes for me. Everybody's wired different. What does it take for you to get up every day, tie those damn boots on.
You just got to have a bigger purpose, and it's the family.
Higher purpose. I love it.
For me,
That's
it's
what drives you.
family. I have a family to provide for. It's my job as a man, and my outlet to provide is my business. And yeah, some days it sucks, and I have to get up at 5:30 and 5 every day. And some days, dude, my bed was so comfortable this morning. I did not want to get up.
Even with a toddler.
Yeah, and you just do it every day, and it gets easier the more days you do it. It's not that the days get easier; it's just you become accustomed to.
Samantha, you have a good man here.
Oh, I know.
The machine.
I know.
And at this point, I've done it every day I can't even remember.
That's the thing, right? It's that repetition that actually might be the secret.
That I don't think
that might be it
anymore. I had to build myself into this person though. In the early days, like
It's good.
I'd lose 2 days out of the week sometimes. I just can't afford to do that anymore at the level that we've gotten to. And now my kids are a little older. They're not just babies and toddlers. They're watching me every single day. And they're going to watch a winner. I'm going to teach my kids how to be winners by letting them watch, us win.
That's it, man. Huge. That's it. That's one of my driving forces. Is who am I in my child's eye?
What to do, and it's like they're gonna watch you more than they're gonna listen to you. So if you want your kids to live out their dreams and chase their dreams, they need to see you chasing your own dreams.
Damn right.
And so many people don't do that. We tell your kids chase your dreams, but they watch their parents don't do anything to progress in life.
Right.
And just settle for mediocrity. And, everybody has that desire for greatness somewhere deep down in them. And I feel like people at a certain point make a decision to, I'm okay with living mediocre. But some people have a fire that just can't be put out. And I mean,
I've had the fire since I started my company. It's bizarre. I can't shake that fire.
In the middle of the night.
Always been there.
Thinking business ideas, like thinking business constantly. So
that's right. Yeah.
Besides the bigger purpose on, providing for the family, I'm just super competitive too. And so, I want to win. I want to be, it drives me crazy that we are going to do the same amount of revenue as we did last year. Like it drives me insane.
Let me tell you something though. I could tell you again, back to Frank, he's 22 years. I could tell you all the years I put in where I'm fighting my ass off. Sometimes it's just the way it is. You could put in the hardest work ever in a particular 12-month clip, and you might regress. And there's no, I don't want to say there's no explanation because the numbers never lie, but it's just the way it is. Sometimes you'll have years when you start clipping decades, you'll have years where you're like, well, that was pretty easy, and you crushed it. You crushed it. You just got to let it. You got to roll with it. You're checking off boxes and you're doing everything right, and then you just got to let it roll.
I'll say this: we did 1 million easy last year. We're going to do 1 million hard.
Yeah, all right, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. All right, this is just coming to me, and God's blessed me with the ability to have crazy cool analogies. But
wait a minute, hold on, I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, that's right. You be the judge, all right, Frank. But every now and then, we've said the words iron sharpens iron, right? Everybody knows that. But when you're sharpening a blade, all right, it sucks, right? You're not adding to the blade, but it needs to be sharpened, and it's not going to produce what it needs to produce. If you're sharpening an axe, it's not going to go produce a ton of wood for you right away. You got to go through that sharpening process in order to produce a shit ton of wood, right? So right now, just from the now hour that we've been talking, I've heard you guys got rid of all the admin and management positions, and you guys are back in, and you're resharpening this business.
Yes.
And next year, watch out, because Greenway is going to blow up, right?
Good way to look at it, Colin.
Even though this last year came hard to us, I will say this Greenway we are today cannot touch the Greenway we were even a year ago. It's just not the same. We're not the same in the best way.
Yes. Yeah. Greenway a year ago can't touch who you are today. Right.
And you've heard the bamboo analogy, it takes time before it just explodes up. Right. And so, we may pause and do, it feels, golly, staying the same feels like going down. But like, yeah, we may take a temporary pause on growth, but I feel like next year we'll do 3+ because I plan on doing 1,000,000+ in the gutters and then 2+ on the drain side.
Hell yeah, that's all
right.
doable. It's all doable.
That's right.
What are you doing with all these photos? I mean, you both have, movie star looks. You're a looking couple. And I saw you had some new photo shoots and and I would be posting them too. I mean, I have cool photos. I post them. I like where you're going with this. What are you doing with these couples photos and the individual shots? Are you using this for a marketing campaign?
Actually just posted our first one today on our East Texas Fringe Streams. But yeah, I plan on using them for marketing. I wanted this last photo shoot that we did because we've never done one that encompasses us as business partners. And so I wanted it to be fun, silly, but also, that nice headshot professional.
Yeah. Well done.
Yes.
It looks very nice.
Yeah.
Golly,
It was a lot of fun.
that is incredible.
Right?
I'm looking through your Facebook right now.
Artistic
Cole.
eye about the way they do things, and it's going to go a long way for you guys. That's what it's about. It's about putting yourself out there in a light, and you do it in a unique way. You have a very unique presence about you. You're not just following the pack and doing it the way everybody else does. You have your own little twist. That's going to go a long, long way for you guys.
Absolutely.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Absolutely. Organic posting has got to be the best way to grow any business. Your business Facebook page is what it is. You try to get likes to it, and
right.
But really, it's people will do business with people that they know, like, and trust. It's your organic page that's going to get you all your business. And so,
big time.
I took almost a whole year off of Facebook. So I started the company. I would post 2 times a day. Plus I would post in the gutter installers group once a day. Like I had a whole checklist that I would go off of every day.
So annoying, isn't it?
It was part of the plan to build it up. And we got so busy last year at one point that I was like
slipping on the post
and got to the point where I was just like, got tired of sharing everything.
Yeah.
And so I almost got sick of Facebook and sick of social media and went into like why do we even have social media? And I was like, I'm deleting the thing. So I did. I went off of it for a while, and you can believe that it affected the business.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Visibility versus not being on it versus just coming back to it for the last couple weeks and already seeing the traction that I've gotten.
I missed you guys. But you see how I immediately responded when you first came on. I said, when you do it just for like 2 weeks straight, everybody thinks you never missed a beat. You've been doing it for a year. You're in my feed all the time. I assume you always were,
And so that right now, that is the plan for me. I just uploaded a video to our YouTube, the very first point of view video that I've ever done. So I bought a pair of Meta glasses.
Nice.
And I took a ton of clips during our drain job that we did today. Point of view.
You can get away with that because you're hands-on still.
Right.
So
a bunch of sweat drops falling. And
yeah, I'd had to take them off and go set them to the side. And then whenever I was ready, go grab them again. And so part of the plan over the next year is I'm going to stay in the field. We've got this sales system down to where the days that I am in the field, she runs our sales appointments and she closes. And so I'm going to go into the field and make a ton of content. And I'm going to try to really create a content channel for gutters and drains on our YouTube. And then we'll cross-reference that back with Reels on Facebook and stuff.
That's right.
You totally have the ability to, because you're in the trenches, you're in the field. I shadow, on my bigger jobs, I shadow the installs because they're generally my design build, and I do all the sales. So, but when I'm out doing the sales on drainage, I don't, I'm alone. There's nothing really to film, right? The content that I capture is when I slide back and see my guys in action.
Yeah.
But I try to post, and you see my stories. My strategy is this, right? So it really works well for my hyper local for business. And I notice when I don't do it, there is a little bit of a regression. When I do it, it's who knows who, right? So I do stories all day, and it's kind of almost like a vlog. Like when I'm at the gym, Now I'm at work. Now I'm on this job. Oh, this job's kind of exciting. Let me show you this. This might be a cedar roof. This might be drainage. And I just kind of drop these little stories. That keeps me in the face of my hyper local audience, my friends and my family, people that know me within like a 30-mile radius. Then if I have something that is intriguing, I'll take that content because I already used it on the story. And I have, thank God, I'm blessed. I have George and Nick just left us to go back to college, but I have staff that post produce very nicely.
Right.
I do a just passable job on my own. If I have a window at night on Instagram, and I'll make a reel, right, and then I jazz it up with some music. But all of that, like constant pumping, it doesn't have to be so highly polished and produced.
That's right.
It's just kind of like the steady Eddie and just reminding everybody what I do. I'm into this, I'm into that. I do this, I do that. And pulse it. And if you don't like me, delete me. Don't follow me anymore. Get me out of the feed.
That's how I feel.
Just get me out. If you do like me, then great. I'm happy to entertain you.
That's right. I say it all the time. One of the first things I tell people to do when they join Gutter Launch is message. Well, go through your phone, right? Get your phone and call every single one of your contacts and let them know what you're doing. And like, I got dudes that are like, "Colin, I've been doing gutters for 20 years." It's like, yeah, that's cool, but I guarantee you, everybody in your phone doesn't know that you do gutters,
Right.
and they're like, "What?" And it's like clockwork. In the first week, they're like, "Dude, I got 10 leads this week just by calling people on my phone." It's like,
Well,
yeah, no.
I have a question for you guys. How can you tell everybody? Because now you guys are content. I don't want to call you junkies. I mean, you're doing as much content as we are, right? Like you're into it. When you first started, was there I think Cole, you're a self-proclaimed introvert, right? I mean, it's not necessarily your thing to get in front of the camera. Was there I don't know, an adjustment period? Did you totally shame it and say, I don't want to do this? And then like maybe Samantha brought you out. Like how did you overcome that? Or was it very natural and organic?
Well, after my break, she's been trying to get me to come back to Facebook for a while. And I finally admit, she's so right about things all the time. And so she was right about the group, and then she was right about coming back to Facebook. But the very first time that I started the business and I was like, okay, I'm going to make these posts, I had joined a business group, and it was a part of their strategy of how to gain organic, traction. And so it was very awkward. I am not a sharer. I don't share anything with anyone. And so, how the Facebook works is you have to be real and raw every once in a while. You've got to be a little emotional on the posts.
Right.
Draws people in. Every fourth or fifth post, throw in some business posts, but always on the stories. I'm always business on the stories. But yeah, it's very real awkward until, just like anything, you do it for a while, you get the repetition in it. It's not so hard now. After I've run a business for 5 years, I've got a little entrepreneur experience. So I can always just kind of reach back and tell a story from, a hardship that I had a couple months ago in the business where, maybe a job went south and, I learned a lesson from it. I can structure that into a post that, sounds really good and is going to get really good feedback. And not only is that emotional, but it ties in the business to it as well. And so, you've got to entertain, you got to be emotional, but you've got to promote at the same time. And there's a fine balance of doing those three without, oversaturating any one of them.
Right.
And then there's me, and I'm all over the place, and I don't care. So.
I wouldn't say that. You're very genuine and very unique, and it's refreshing. I wish there was more of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're definitely a unique one, and that's the way it should be. I'm so tired of the same old. Everybody follows everybody, and a bunch of posers. It's like, just be you.
I'm just big on like whoever I'm supposed to do business with, God will align me with them, and that's it.
That's right.
It's all working out,
Well, just not overcomplicated.
Yeah,
so.
I try not to regurgitate all the the business stuff that you hear at all the conferences. I try to be as original as possible.
Right.
It's impossible, dude.
It's hard.
Somebody's already said it.
It's
Like,
hard. That's
it's one of those things where it's just like, you know what? I catch myself all the time. Like, I'll be in the middle of videoing and I'll stop and my videographer's like, dude, that was great. I'm like, yeah, but I heard it from Hermosi, or yeah, but I heard it from, like, and
I didn't
he's
write
like, who cares? Like,
It's
he's
great.
like,
Yeah, it's good
the people listening to you don't necessarily listen to him.
But even
I was like,
Hermosi, he gets, he's regurgitating something
oh,
from
just the same
classics
stuff that
50
he
years
says
ago.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Hermosi's just basically on a big repeat cycle. Like, I've listened to him for the last 5 years, and
And it's okay to repurpose content. You never know who needs to hear it in what form.
exactly.
Certain form of words you're going to say it in that'll click in somebody's brain. They could hear it from Frank, they could hear it from me, but maybe Colin could put it in a set of words that unlocks.
I'm just hillbilly enough,
Yeah.
It's all about the delivery. So,
Right.
kind of winding things down. How do you guys are on your way? Put it this way: that year of repeat on revenue, I'm not even sweating that. You guys are gonna have a huge breakout year next year. I feel it. You're doing everything right. It's nice sometimes when you realize you're on the right path for sure, and then it's just keep doing more of the same. What kind of advice can you give to guys at home that are sort of frustrated, tripping over themselves, don't know how to put one foot in front of the other, where to begin? What are like the top 3 things you would suggest they start doing immediately? I know we talked on content, maybe that doesn't make the list, but what are the top 3 things that they need to pull their head out of their ass and start doing?
Well, if it's you're struggling in your business, then you need sales. Sales is always nothing happens until somebody sells something. So sales has got to be a number one aspect of your business at all times, and content's probably the best way to do that. As far as getting your local Google page built up with reviews as well, and it takes time to do that. So in your first year, you've got competitors that are ranked higher than you in all the socials and all the online presences, and you're like, damn, I can't seem to get any leads. And then you go through the winter and you're 1 year in business and it's slow for even the busy companies. So how do the new guys feel? It is a struggle, and you're going to have to get over that speed bump in the beginning.
Yep.
So that's the first line of business. Second, control your overhead. Times people want to grow too fast, and I've been guilty of it, where I want to take on this and been guilty of, I'll figure it out. I'll make more sales to figure it out. We'll just sell more. And if you ever hear somebody say, we'll just sell more, to me, that means their operations are not intact. There could be more efficiency there. If you're needing to sell more to cover, that means you have a cash flow problem.
Yeah.
So do good sales, manage your overhead, always do the right thing. Your guys are going to mess up jobs, and you're going to piss customers off, and you've got to go fix those things every single time. Even when, the whole customer's always right. We know sometimes the customer's wrong. Well, we go fix the shit anyways. The reputation cannot be burnt. We can't rebuild the reputation. So somehow we've managed 320 reviews. They're all 5.0.
That's huge.
Fantastic.
We've had 2 1-star reviews, but we went and took care of that person, and they've changed them back.
Wow.
So,
nice.
People are, you get those services. It's like, we can remove bad reviews. It's like, we can do it ourselves. We'll fix it.
It's
Right.
it's the best way to do it.
Right. We'll fix that.
Trust that to somebody else.
So that's just 3 small things. There's a ton of things, your first year in business, jump in some networking groups and find some other guys that have been successful. I promise you, guys like Frank, guys like Colin, that's got 10 years in the business, guys like me with 5 years in the business, we'll jump on a call with you at any moment.
Oh yeah.
We love to help out new guys, because we were the new guys at one point. We've been through the struggle. There is nobody that builds something of value that doesn't have to, climb a ton of stairs. So
That's right. A lot of stairs.
I mean, you just get up every day and jump on.
That's right. That's right. If you don't get up, your kids jump on you, and then it hurts. So.
High motor stuff.
How do you
Yeah.
keep a business successful, baby?
Oh gosh. I think I just wrote like a whole 10-point thing over this, didn't I?
It's
Love it.
it's extremely important to, I would say, reputation, content, overhead, sales. Like, you figure those things out and a good balance of things, you're going to end up being successful.
Yeah,
Right.
I love it.
I would add on to that. Like this says, I wrote, treat every job, big or small, with the same level of respect, because you never know what kind of referrals are going to come out of that. And also something new that we just started doing, which you would think that we needed to do this a long time ago, and maybe we did at one point, I don't know, but is not knocking the neighborhood, but just marketing in the neighborhood that you're doing a job in currently.
Sure.
We're in a neighborhood right now today. The entire neighborhood doesn't have gutters. It was like a new build. Dallas contractor came in, built up a whole bunch of cookie cutter houses, and not a single house has gutters on it.
Wow.
Done 3 different jobs in that neighborhood so far, I think.
Just
but
since I finished it.
yeah. And
If you're not knocking, what are your preferred methods to market in a neighborhood?
Yard signs or door hangers.
Yeah, door hangers are easy to do.
You can do targeted Facebook ads if you want to. We
Yeah.
don't really do a whole lot of paid ads. I've tried paid ads before, and I've just always found that
They're hit or miss.
Yeah.
And in again, reflective of 22 years, I could tell you there was periods where they were just highly effective. I could spend and get my money back, and I could calculate down to the dollar what my return would be. It was as they tell you it should be. It was like that for years.
Right.
And then Google turned to shit. I'm scratching my head still trying to understand PPC right now, because it's just in the toilet, because I think user behavior is wildly changing, and I don't think we understand how much so. We're looking at things differently. We skip past ads. I do. I go right past all the PPC stuff, maybe because I'm trained on that.
Right.
Yeah. But user behavior is changing, and then they keep messing with the UIs and the layouts. It's just Wild West right now, and you could burn through $10,000 in the blink of an eye monthly,
right,
and have very little to show
for
for
a service-based company that we're all in. Google has always been the king. That's where you go to look up, local companies.
Right.
As of now, Google is still the king, but I have my eye close on Google losing its spot to ChatGPT. It is possible, and it is happening in the younger generations.
Yeah, we agree.
So I'm trying to teach ChatGPT about my business. I had a whole chat with it to tell it everything about Greenway and the local town. So if anybody goes to look it up now, ChatGPT will list our business and everything about it, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is cool. What part of Texas are y'all in again?
Tyler, East Texas.
Tyler. Okay, all right. Is next door a thing there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not here where I live.
It is here.
Unfortunately.
It's a bad thing. It's where Karens go to have.
Is that what it's for?
That's why I said unfortunately.
Right? Isn't it? It's Karen Central is what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking, I've literally never used it, but I thought maybe it was.
If you did, you would know right away what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We
It's
just have
horrible.
the local Facebook pages for that here because we're like 10 years behind y'all. But yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere. We have like 30,000 people in my entire county. So
Wow.
yeah, super small area. I got to travel like 60 miles around me to hit 100,000.
That's why you're the boss, though, right? You
That's
can
right.
make a big splash.
That's right. We make a
Small
huge
pond,
splash.
big fish.
Yep. But we also piss off a lot of people because we do knock doors, because we do put door hangers out, right? And
oh, you know what though? Like a lot of people would tell you, look, if you're not going to use me, you're not going to use me anyway. If you're going to hate me, you're going to hate me. So I might as well knock and say hello. And I don't knock. I can't hear. It's just I'll have a gun in my face. It's just people are just way too uptight in the New York metro area. But my theory is, because it can work for you, it does work for you. It's you're not, if you're not going to use me because that's the way you are, you're not going to use me. So I might as well try to, ferret out those that might use me.
Right.
Why not? Right.
Yep. That's it. I had one bad post like 2 weeks ago, and it came on the night we got 22 leads, and
Wow.
and I was just like, I counted it all up, and like then they started saying my name and whatever, but it was 3 people, and so I commented. I was like, there are 3 of you who are upset about this. We got 22 leads from 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. today.
Right.
I'm going to go with those numbers versus these numbers.
Colin's a great marketer, as we know.
Yeah. That pissed them off even more because I was
disappointed. If I've learned anything in this industry, or any industry for that matter, you cannot make everyone happy. It just is what it is. There are some people that are so determined to be pissed off.
There's always going to be one at a minimum. The best story with Colin is that ringless voicemail. Remember the ringless voicemail? And that
you guys probably got that too.
Did you get a voicemail from Colin, a ringless voicemail, where he just somehow got in your inbox, your voicemail box, like you're on your cell phone?
I don't think so.
The phone never rings. Or
this would have been like last January, February. So we had Gutter Secrets Live happening in Orlando.
People's Facebook comments about this.
Oh, God. I mean, really.
You want to know what, though? But it sold like 25 tickets.
Nice.
Listen, if you were blowing my phone up and it was ringing in my pocket and you were annoying me, I understand the gripe. But, like, good on you to use that technology, get in the voice box, and, like, now you're going to be mad? You're just a hater. It's
wild.
You can't imagine any attempt of sales.
Yeah, it was good, but yeah, I love marketing, and I think it's one of the funnest things in the world to try and figure out. And I just like to test other stuff, and if it pisses people off, cool. If it equals a lot of sales, even cooler, right? So
I think we all agree on the top, let's say the top 5 list. In my world, I argue that it's maybe number 1. You need to become a marketer. Yes, you need to understand intrinsically what you're doing service-wise, right? So you can't be fooled, again, by anybody you bring into the operation. You should be deeply, deeply entrenched in the hands-on. You don't have to be the best tech in the company, but you need to really be an expert. That's understood. And right after that, though, the minute you become that expert, you need to become a beast marketer, a beast content person. If you don't wear a marketing hat, nobody knows about your company. I don't care how good you are.
Right.
So that is the thing that a lot of guys do not embrace. They cannot embrace. They don't understand it. It's way too sexy for them. They're an installer. I'm nasty with those hand miters, boy. Like, dude, no one cares because no one could see you in the back of that, double wide doing the hand tabs. Like, no one cares, bro. Right. Figure out how to get the word out about you and your business.
Right.
Once you do that, everything comes to you.
That's it. Yep.
That's my 2 cents tonight. I've said it all. I've really exhausted myself on this one. Yeah. You guys are amazing. Colin, I definitely want them to come back.
You too, because we didn't even get to touch on like anything that I really, really wanted to. So, was it you that gave a car away? Did you give one of your vehicle or one of your employees a car like a few years ago?
No.
Shoot.
Kyle, you got to do your homework, bro.
Dude, I know. I could have sworn he did. I don't know.
We did a lot of stuff away, but not.
You said that was Oprah.
Yeah, I don't know. I did. I've done it a couple times. That's super cool. But I was like,
I gave a $20,000 truck away.
Yeah. By next year, I can give a car away. That'd be nice.
Let's go. That's right. So, well, anyways, yeah, I wanted to get into your company culture and like why you guys fired the management team and got back into it.
There's juice there.
So much juice that I don't know. Maybe we'll just do a phone call. So.
No. Let's have them back. Let's do a part 2.
Okay, maybe we'll do it. We'll do it both because I want to know like tomorrow. And
be careful. He might get you ringless. He might just jump into the voice box and it won't ring. But it'll be Colin saying, Can you call me back, please?"
And Colin, you can go sell some more drains this week.
Yeah, I am going to sell some drains. I fired a sales rep. I had one of my other ones pass unexpectedly, like I guess it was 3.5 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
So like we're down, and so I'm running. I think I have 4 estimates tomorrow. And I'm just like, I haven't run 4 leads in a day in like 4 years. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Bro. Friday.
Yeah,
hustle.
In the
that's
hot
right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running one. I'm closing one on Monday, Labor Day. I'm driving 3 hours to this job to close it because the guy I fired missold it,
Oh, wow.
and he was supposed to sign today. And we called them and said, "Hey, yeah, we had to fire him because he was selling jobs bad, and we think yours is priced improper." And they're like, "Please send a pro." And they were like, yeah, we're gonna send the owner. And they're like, "Oh, thank God, we're so excited." And I'm gonna turn what he sold for $2,200 into.
Kill
I'm
it.
gonna do drain tile. I'm gonna do everything. All right?
Listen, if you
It's
guys
gonna be
want to do a 3-way call and talk about cameras and, dig a little deeper on drainage, let me know. We could tee that up. Happy.
yeah. I'm
You
just gonna
need,
go
you need to have a
borrow.
drain camera in the mix. It's an ATM machine. It's stupid.
All right. I'm gonna borrow one for my drain cleaning buddy and just try it for a week, and then
You're going to stack money with the damn thing. It's so stupid. The minute you have that tool like at your, beck and call, like you just start running your mouth to the customers, and it goes.
yeah,
Find
that's exciting.
on
I mean,
dollars, price per line, and away you go.
do you Frank? Do you put in like some sort of I don't know what they're called. Your homeboy builds them. They're like a downspout clean out. Like,
Yeah. No, I don't like them.
okay.
The little built-in mesh.
Yeah, the little built-in mesh thing, so you can
little
easily
hinge.
snake down in it later on, or
Oh,
what?
so there's
Or do you just put an actual clean out in?
So I don't like if you use a TY and you use it as a clean out and you put a threaded cap on it, it looks so commercial and ugly. I don't like the look of them at the downspout. I think they're very unsightly. To me, it's just separate the downspout off the house, get the downspout off, jump in the vertical stub up with the pipe, and just do it that way. I will do clean outs elsewhere when I have more elaborate systems, but at the downspout, I think they look like you see it on a commercial building in Westchester County, New York, which is right down the street from me. A lot of the architects and engineers design with that aesthetic, and I'll put them in if I'm working to a set of plans. But I shake my head like I wouldn't put it on my house. I don't want to see that,
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, you want to make sure if you're designing a system that you could get into it easily later for maintenance. But it's as easy as taking the downspout off the house. Who cares?
Right. I'm gonna group message all 3 of you on Monday when I drive 3 hours to this $2,200 gutter job and I sell them.
You're selling on Labor Day? What are you talking?
I'm selling on Labor Day. I'm leaving my house at 5 a.m. to get there at 8.
Wow.
Because I don't want to wreck my whole Labor Day, right? So,
so labor in the morning. You're going to labor for a few hours, and then you're going to not labor.
That's right. And I'm gonna sell them like 150 feet minimum of drain tile. So
I love the passion. Bro.
That's what we're gonna do. So
get it.
All right.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. Kill it tomorrow.
Yeah, Cole. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We do got to have you on because, again, I want to talk about a bunch of other cool stuff that you guys are doing in your life. So, yeah, but don't be strangers. I'm going to message both of you because I just have a million questions, and I like learning from other people. I by no means am the guru. I like learning from everybody. So,
absolutely, man. Let me know.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
This is the podcast.